What's up, everybody? Today we're going to do some prime rib on the offset smoker. I'm going to start with salt and pepper, coating it. We're going to be cooking about 250, 275. We're looking for medium rare, so an internal temp of 128, 130. We're going to get this fired up, like I said, 250, 275. About a half an hour per pound. I got a 6.5 pounder, so it's probably going to take 3.5 to 4 hours. Check it out. Alright, so we got our 6.5 pound prime rib roast. Unfortunately, I got it with the bone off. If you're going to do this at home, I prefer to keep the bone on. That's adds a lot of flavor. You can have your butcher cut the bone off, but tie it to the roast itself. Really adds that flavor. Retains some moisture there too. Some good meat on them ribs too. Got some salt and black pepper, freshly cracked. And we got a butter, rosemary, and thyme mixture here that we're going to put all over this thing right after we puncture some holes in here and stuff it with garlic. It's going to be really good. Check this out. Alright, so to start this bad boy off, I'm going to take our boning knife here. I've got some elephant garlic that I sliced up into little chunks. I tried to get them closer to like a normal clove size. Take our boning knife, just get in there, twist you open a little hole, plug your garlic in there. This is really going to add some good flavor to it. Stuff it down in there. Oh, let's see. Do your best to get that little hole open there. Now that we got it plugged full of garlic, we're going to throw our seasoning on there. So for seasoning, I got some fresh cracked pepper, some kosher salt, some ground kosher salt. We're just going to sprinkle that around the top here. Then we got this nice butter, rosemary, and thyme mixture. So just work all the thyme and rosemary into the butter. You don't want the butter melted or really soft. You just want it malleable. You know, you want to be able to spread it around this thing. Kind of like a wet rub. Just put that on there. Smear it around best you can. And on the bottom, we're going to hit it with some more ground kosher salt. How much? About that much. Some more fresh black pepper. This stuff smells amazing when you freshly crack it. Alright, now that we got it all rubbed up, we got our butter, rosemary, thyme spread on there. Let's get it on the smoker. Alright, so we're going to make our own beef broth here. I got some Signature, some cheap instant bouillon beef powder. It's 1 teaspoon to 8 fluid ounces of hot or boiling water. So I got 2 cups, which is 16 ounces of water there. We're going to add 2 teaspoons to that and make our own broth. Then we're going to pour it under here in this pan. This is how it's going to go on the smoker. This beef broth down here is going to help it stay moist and not really add flavor, but just keep it moist throughout the whole cookout. Alright, so we got our smoker up to temp. We're reading about 202 now because I opened it and put this roast on here. I'm going to show you guys. I got it in that pan there. Like I said, I'm going to add the beef broth to it here in a minute. There it is on the smoker, center, right above the firebox, but there's also a water pan down there. Got some sausages going on the side. Fire's going, using hickory wood and lump charcoal. We're going to roll between 250 and 275. Probably take about 3.5 to 4 hours. And we'll check back here in a little bit while we're on our way. Alright. We are probably just an hour in, but I wanted to show you guys that I have a probe, obviously, monitoring the cooker temp. We're at 250, that's perfect, it's where we want. And I got one in the center of the rib roast. We're at 78 internal there. We're looking for an internal temp of about 128. So you can see where I got this set here. Right in the middle there. You don't want to go all the way through. but you want to put it in to try to find center. You want to find center as best you can. Center this way and also center this way to get that perfect internal temp of 128 that we're shooting for. The sausage is looking really good. Alright, this is taking a little longer than I thought, but look at her. We're about 4.5 hours in. That's a beautiful thing right there. And the internal, 114. Keeping that 250 in the chamber. Alright guys, this thing is done. It's looking amazing. Let me get out my, oh sorry, shaky camera. My Thermo Pro quick read here. We're going to go in the middle. Drop in. It's actually over what I want. That's exactly where I want it. Feels like butter going in and out. This is amazing. That's perfect. We're going to get this thing off of here, bring it inside, and we're going to cover it in foil and let it rest for 1 hour. Then we're going to slice into it. Alright, we've got the rib roast off. Just covered it in foil. Loose, you don't have to make it tight. Just let it hang out there for half an hour. 45 minutes to an hour, up to you. In the meantime, we're going to make some horseradish sauce. If you haven't had this with a prime rib, you are missing out. You got to check this out. We're going to take 3 tablespoons of prepared horseradish, 1 tablespoon of finely chopped greens from a green onion or chives, 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, for this Dijon we're using Grey Poupon, and then 1/4 cup of sour cream. Go ahead and mix that all together. If you wanted to spice this up a little bit, make it a little hotter than it probably already is, you can add some cayenne pepper, you can add your favorite hot sauce. Make it yours, do whatever you want with it. Perfect consistency. Alright, we're going to let that rest for a little longer, and we're going to slice into it. Alright, here's our finished product. It's been sitting under foil for about 40 minutes. Now what you're going to want to do is not use this. Get yourself one of these little paring knives. Cut your string off. I kind of lost mine in here with all the rub on there. Alright, get all your butcher's twine out. This is like butcher's elastic, but that's alright. Make sure you get it all off. You don't want to eat that stuff, do you? There we go. Okay, once we have our butcher's twine removed, nothing left to do. Slice into it. This side, the sides will be more done than the inside. It's that medium rare to rare that we want on the inside, so. I don't know if you can tell. It's still a little pink on the inside. Look at the smoke ring we got going on around here. That is just beautiful. We'll get a nice little thicker slice going right here. Look at that. Look how juicy that is. Juicy, tender, perfectly cooked. That's a perfect medium rare right there. Look at it just fall apart like that. That is exactly what you want. This piece got my name all over it. Got that salt and pepper savoriness, the rosemary and thyme, super delicious bark on it. Melt in your mouth tender. This is fantastic. Alright, so to recap, we got a 6.5 pound prime rib roast. You want prime, you want that good marbling. That's what really makes this tender, juicy, flavorful. With prime rib, you don't want to, I mean, you can go choice and you can season it well. It's still going to taste good, but prime is where it's at. We slice into this, it's super tender, super juicy. I don't know if you can see that, but that is perfect medium rare. The fat, this just falls apart, melts in your mouth. It is just delicious. So we got the smoker to 250 degrees, kept that steady for probably 5.5 hours. It took a little longer than I anticipated, but well worth the wait. Slice into this, it's like butter. You want to probe an internal temperature of 128 degrees. Remove it off the smoker, put it on a rack, bring it inside on the counter, cover it in foil loosely, and let it sit there for 45 minutes to an hour. This rested for about 40 minutes before I sliced into it, and it's just fantastic. Alright, here's that piece I showed you. Super tender. This cuts like butter, you guys. I'm not even trying here. Look at that. Just pulls apart. Look at that. I'm gonna get some of our homemade sauce on there. There we go. Alright. You guys have never done this horseradish sauce before? You gotta try this out. Maybe go a little less on the sour. I might have just gone, like I said, they were heavy teaspoons. But this is delicious, tender, juicy. I'm gonna cut you guys off right now because I'm gonna eat some more of this. If you like the video, hit like, subscribe, catch you on the next one.